black man, and you know what that means, G. A hard life, and ain't nobody hiring me. Too black, too strong for this fucking little system, man. No Uncle Tom, so I'm fucking up that little plan. So fucking scared that I might just up and retaliate. You ask me why, should my heart be filled with hate? Motherfuck the past, talking about shit that's happening here today. I'm on my knees, oh Lord help me control this rage. I'm being teased like a beast, locked within a cage. They're setting traps, and almost killed me twice, you see. They won't feel safe till they got me hanging from a tree. I'm still running, but I got the Lord on my side. Pour a drink on the corner for my homies that have fought and died. Ain't nothing changed, I still live my life in fear. I ask you God, where do we go from here? From here?
Where do we go from here?
So where do we go?
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go?
Where do we go from here?
So what's up, everybody, man? This is T.O.G and Barilla, man.
Yes, sir. We here.
Back
We
for
here.
another week.
Another week, man. It's getting better and better.
You already know we back up under what?
The light, the palm tree, and the light, but we chilling.
Y'all see the background.
You know.
Yeah, so look, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. We're gonna have a great show tonight. This one, we're gonna do an interview with T.O.G. We're gonna let him talk about, how he growed up, what he went through, some of the things, some of the trials and tribulation he went through or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I know me and you always talk about it. And
Right.
you be like, you really think they want to know
Yeah,
who I am?
Yeah. I mean, I never even think about it like that. But, I guess, the people that know what happened or saw what happened or was caught up in what the whole media thing and everything that went down, I guess they might. But I never really thought about it.
I'm just talking about your whole life in itself, because what it can do, it can help, especially what's going on nowadays.
Right.
With our youth,
Yeah.
it can help. I mean, ain't too much what they doing out here that you ain't
Oh,
really
no,
done and
I don't
seen. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing they done.
Exactly.
You know?
So I mean, I think it can help somebody. But before we get started, you already know, man. Want to talk about how our week went. We always want to kind of play on how our week went. You know what I'm saying?
Trials and tribulations, but my week been great. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I just keep my faith, keep everything up, and hey, when it comes, you handle it, you move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's been a good week. It hadn't been the type of week that I personally would like,
Okay.
but I'm not the one in charge. So it's a week that I'm in, and everything's not done to me; it's done for me.
Gotcha.
So I got to keep it like that.
Gotcha. So my week, it was pretty good. We had Thanksgiving. We got together as a family.
Oh yeah, that was.
That's always a good time. Yeah, we did that. What else we did, man?
We had a dance contest, y'all.
The old.
I mean, listen. Now I don't really. Now when I get around my sister, man, I go back to my childhood. You know what I'm saying? And their children decide that they want to try us. You know what I'm saying? But we was that thing back in the day. We don't do that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Tell them to get ready for Christmas.
Yeah, it's going down. So if any of the children watching, y'all get your wind up now. Y'all talking about y'all good knees. Y'all, my sister and them beating all them young girls in good knees. You hear me? Tanya killed everybody. Terry was right there with her. You hear me?
And they had Shorty Red dancing.
Damn.
They in trouble.
Man, what?
Shorty Red
She done
don't
turned
dance.
back into Terry now. She done turned back into Terry. Y'all better watch out.
So yeah, man, we had a good time with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Some guys that called me up. Florida State played Friday night
Okay.
after Thanksgiving. So they called me up and asked me, did I want to go down to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game. Now, I ain't really, I don't like hanging out, especially watching no game. But I said, they called me, let me go.
Right.
Let me go down there. I went down there for a half. Man, enjoyed it.
Okay.
By halftime, I think we were losing, so you already know.
Oh, you get the flu.
Yeah, no, it's time to go.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
because you get fun. Now, they want somebody funny when they lose.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna talk to nobody.
Yeah, so my wife wanted some chicken. I ordered her some chicken, grabbed that, and I left for halftime, man. We ended up winning the game, so that was good. What else we did shit over the weekend, man? Man, came into some hard time day, man. So I'm sitting there, today caught a flat. So I got OnStar in my truck. you know, I just did it when I got, so I'm real, you know, like, hey, I hit the button, whoop, call them, whoop, whoop. You know, hey, I got a flat, you know, need y'all roadside assistance. Okay, they checking, blue, 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 checking everything. Well, you no longer have any more. Like I done took up all my calls
What?
to get my tire fixed. Like they told me I can only do 40 a year, and I'm like, I done went way over that. I ain't never had a problem. I pay every month. You know me, I'm like, if I pay my money, I expect y'all to whoop the whoop. And they were like, well, you know, it'll be $76. You know what I'm saying? So, man, so we end up. So the little jack I got, they came with a truck. Don't work with the truck. And so just so luckily, man, some people came by that don't look like us. And I'm talking about, man, they really looked out. They really looked
Good
out.
people, good
So
people
I'm telling
everywhere.
y'all, you know what I'm saying? They come in all color, size, shape, and form.
Right. And that's one thing we got to realize. We got to understand that people and God in people has no hue. Okay, it's everybody has God in them.
Yeah.
Has God in them.
Exactly.
Has no color. Okay.
And the Scott, hey girl, we see you. What up? What up, lady?
Oh,
we about to do this. Look, we finna interview T.O.G. So stay tuned on this one. We finna tap into that life. So look, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let me ask you this: what's an everyday life like with Tim? What is a everyday like? Tell me about your day.
Well, like you know, I'm working. You know, and that's different for me. You know, for a long time I've never worked, never even thought about working, but now I'm working. But I'm doing something I love. You know, and I just found out what I love, and I love helping people. I love, you know, being somebody that people say, if you need something, let's call Tim, and maybe he can find or help something. I go out. I do Heroes in the Hood. OA. I work with OA.
What is OAA?
OA is Offenders Alumni. Okay. Association. That's the guys that have been incarcerated, which I am alumni of being incarcerated. So you know, and women. I ain't know. Okay, women. My wife. I like to say something, but I'm learning to.
Hey, you might need to put them first.
Yeah, the women, the men. As a matter of fact, the CEO and the COO are women. I mean, beautiful people. I mean, I love working for these folks. You know, I because it's us. It's the people who have been put down, who have been shut out, who have been said it wasn't worth being in society. Coming together and helping other people that have been through the same situation get better.
We had them on the show, man. They was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love them. I love them. You know, it takes me a while to warm up to people, but you know, because I'm very skeptical. Because I've been through a lot of stuff. But once I warmed up and learned who what their heart was, I was like, yeah, it's good.
So Amy talking about go offenders, go frat. You know, she feel like y'all gotta return them because she done went to jail.
That's right, frat.
Look,
that's right, frat.
Like
you did your time. Don't worry about it, frat. You did your time. Handle your business.
So look, take me back to your childhood when it was just you and your mom. Take me back there.
Nah, you know, it's funny because I can remember my mom when I didn't know when she got the car. Her car I remember her in was a white Mustang. And I know I couldn't have been no more than about 3 or 4, maybe even younger than that. But I remember that white Mustang. I remember us sitting out and a guy putting some red striping on, little thin striping down it. And I remember that car. I used to love that car. You know what I'm saying? She used to just be me and her, and we used to. She used to work at on First Avenue at Crescendo Lounge. My father was part owner of it, and he was in the military. We lived with my grandmother for the first part. I remember being up there, and me and my uncle Tony. Now Tony, he's like 2 months older than me. So when my grandmother had Tony 2 months later, and 2 months in a day, matter of fact, later, my mom had me.
So basically, that was your uncle brother.
Right. So we grew up as basically brothers. You know what I'm saying? We've been together that long, and now I don't remember this part, but they used to tell me that when we used to be together so much that when Tony started walking, he used to be mad because I couldn't walk yet.
Okay.
So he used to drag me across the heat. Come on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So mama said, you had got up and started walking. Yeah, so I started walking early around about 7 months. And from that point on, everything was like early for me.
So you saw more of the, by you being the eldest, the older sibling,
right?
You saw more of that softer side, like the beginning stage of your mom, like, you know, you saw early.
My mom was loving. Man, listen. I mean, birthdays, holidays. Now she was loving, but she still wasn't no joke. Man.
Okay.
I mean, I was washing dishes. I mean, I don't know. I had to be young because we were living in Maryland.
Okay.
Well, Virginia, now Alexander, Virginia. I remember living in there and having to do chores. You know what I'm saying? Pull the chair up to the sink, stuff like that, sweeping the kitchen floor. You know what I'm saying? I had to sleep by myself. I remember definitely when I was young. It was a show used to come on called The Fugitive, and it was about a guy that escaped prison. You know, prison has always been something I guess I was gonna go with. He had escaped prison to clear his name. And he was chasing this one-armed guy. And I used to be scared of this one-armed guy. You know what I'm saying? So I used to run in my mom and dad's bedroom scared.
Yeah.
She kind of like, get your head back in there. You ain't be scared of nothing. And I ain't really understanding no then.
Okay.
I thought she was mean, my dad. And my dad used to be like, let him sleep in. He said, no, he gonna sleep in there by himself. I remember that. So
your dad was
it was her husband.
Okay,
he adopted
me.
You know what I'm saying? Now my biological father, I didn't meet him until I was like 23.
Okay.
And I didn't even know he existed until I was like 13.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. How did you feel when you started having siblings? You know, by you being older and the only kid, how did it feel when you started having?
Well, I didn't know. I mean, because I left Virginia, Maryland, Virginia, you know, all that stuff right there. I left there because Tony and my grandmother called up there. I remember that. Me and Tony used to talk on the phone while I was out of town. And he used to cry, you know what I'm saying? Tony always been to cry, you know what I'm saying? So he used to cry, wanted me to come back, and I wanted to come back because I missed him.
Okay.
So they sent me back. So by the time she had Tracy.
Oh, you didn't even know.
I had no idea. Man, Tony was kicking, you know what I'm saying? So
see, that's new.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah. When I met Tracy, she brought Tracy. Had it been hell, when I saw Tracy down there walking, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And I was 3 years old than Tracy, so she had to be about 1. I had to be about 4, 5, something like that. 1 or 2, 4. She was 1 or 2 out of 4 or 5. When I can remember seeing, I might have saw.
Even then, how did you feel?
I didn't. Because I didn't know who she was. You know, Mama said she was my sister, and Tracy was the type. Tracy always been a bold type person. You know what I'm saying? So, man, Tony was looking at her. You know how you look at it like this, because this was the first girl really I've ever seen, other than my auntie, grandmother, you know, the older women. So it was the first little girl I really ever paid attention to. Okay. So when she came around, I remember we was up grandmother's house when Mama brought her up there, and I was like, who is this? Mom said, it's your sister. I said, well, you know, my sister. What is a sister? You know what I'm saying? Because it was just me and Tony. And Tracy used to walk around, and then after a while, you know, when we started really living together, I recognized that, you know what I'm saying, this is my sister, and she was a pretty little girl, you know what I'm saying? So I felt that big brother thing, you know what I'm saying? I felt like do this and do that, not hurt her, but you know what I'm saying, making sure she was all right. Yeah. You know, she followed herself, you know, I felt real protective over her after a while, you know what I'm saying? So they
instantly bonded.
I don't know if we instantly bonded, but we instantly bonded. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, once I figured out what was going on and who we were, you know what I'm saying? We were in the house. That's when we was in the house with her father. My mom had married her father. And that's when I really realized. Now, the only thing I didn't like about her father, that he wanted to make me call him dad. I didn't like that.
So let me ask you this. So by you knowing that when your father, did you feel any type of way?
No, it didn't matter to me. I didn't like calling dad because you weren't my dad. I always was a truth seeker. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted the truth. I knew that he was her father, but I knew, because, you know, like I told you, Bobby Lanier adopted me, and that was the father that I knew. Okay. And it didn't make no sense for me to call you dad, because I know you're not. Gotcha. But, you know, back in them days, men had a thing about, you know, if you're in a house or whatever. Yeah. I guess he was on some old shit, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Yeah. but I ain't like it. So you know what I'm saying. But Mama had to talk with me, so I did it. Cause Mama asked.
Okay.
So look, Amy has a question. She
Okay.
says, "So you didn't see your mom pregnant with Tracy?"
Nope. I can't remember. I'm put it like that. I didn't see her pregnant. I didn't see her. I mean, she was. I mean, we were. I was living with my grandmother at the time.
Yeah. So you didn't.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So you saying during that time you didn't have your father?
Well, I knew my, like I said, my body was there.
You saw him as.
I saw him, but I stopped seeing him when they broke up. Cause
Yeah.
Mama was mean. She was a beautiful person, but she was mean. And when she stopped liking you, she really stopped liking you.
So around that age, how old were you around that age?
Yeah, about 5, 6. Yeah, cause I was starting to go. I went to Patterson Elementary.
Okay.
And at that, I remember kindergarten, because I started first grade at Olive. But in kindergarten, see, back then we used to have to walk to school. I'd have Mom and them had to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
We had Miss Louise that lived next door, and I had a key around my neck. Now you had to lock the door, and I had to walk to school.
Yeah.
And then walking to school, you know, I've always been the type that what the hell are you doing? Okay, so I always was the type of dude that, you know what I'm saying, had responsibilities early. You know what I'm saying? I always say I grew up fast.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because not only was I taking care of Tracy, I used to look out for Tony too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when did you become the man of the house? Then? You had to go up early. Like,
Well, that came when Tanya was baby. You know what I'm saying?
okay, so y'all about how many years apart?
Tanya is, I'm about 8 years old, and Tanya was 23 to.
Yeah.
I'm about 8 years.
Okay.
About 8
You
years
were 8 when
old.
she was.
Right. So, and that's when my stepfather was jumping on my mother.
Okay.
Yeah, and then once I saw that, now I ain't understand that at all. You know what I'm saying? That just blew my damn mind. Cause why would you hit her? You know what I'm saying? So I remember the first time that I really saw it, and he knocked her tooth out. She crying. Man, listen, I want to pull that butcher knife out that damn thing.
You about 8?
I was about 8. I was about 8, 9, something like that.
Okay.
And then he got that butcher knife. And I was like, you know, I'm crying with the butcher knife. Like, shit, kill this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when Mama saw that, that's when she decided to basically, she got to leave. Cause this is what she told me.
Yeah.
And we had that talk. Once we had that talk, that's when I became the man. Cause she said that it was us.
Okay.
So he went down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: tell me how school was for you? Like, what type of student were you in school, elementary, and all this?
I mean, I was A, B. You know, I was an honor student. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't cool. You know, I could. You know, the lessons
cool.
was. Yeah. I mean, back then, you know.
You got janked on.
Jank, whooped.
What they call bullying now. You got bully. You a nerd.
Yeah. And then, you know, at that point, once we left. Well, let me tell you about Terry. I can't leave Terry out. Now, I'm talking about Tony. Now, Terry, now, I knew Terry.
Okay.
Because I had got used to Tracy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then I saw Mama pregnant with Terry.
That's the first pregnant you saw.
I remember that. That's the first one I remember.
Okay.
Okay. And when she had Terry was a little red, baby. Now, me and her about to, like, Mama got 2 light skin, 2 brown. I ain't gonna say, you know, so they're a little like
chocolatey babies.
So Terry was more like, you know what I'm saying, and then Terry, you know, we didn't have the same father, but we all look alike, because we all basically like Mama. So Terry was a different type of child. Terry was like real outgoing, you know what I'm saying. She would try stuff, you know what I'm saying, do little stupid stuff. She was real silly. And with Tanya, Tanya died one time. Tanya got we was at the house, and I remember this like it was yesterday.
Okay.
We sitting at the house and we playing, and Tanya in the crib sleeping. So Tracy playing with, because you know he had the gas heaters. So Tracy turned he was messing with the gas, you know what I'm saying? She didn't know, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, okay, and the gas filled the house while Tanya was sleeping. And then we tried to wake Tanya up. Tanya couldn't wake up. So I remember mom sitting on the damn porch at Tanya in the arm, just rocking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
Look. So this is my wife we talking about now. You know what I'm saying?
So look, 2 questions.
Okay.
Okay, so Amy wants to know any animosity towards mom for kind of giving you to a grandparent. And I forget the other question.
Some people grow up have animosity towards their mom for giving them to the grandparents. Okay. And then Ken said, Ken Rice, he said what up too.
What's happening, Ken?
He said, I understand I was raised by wildlife. My dad gave us up. At the age of 6, I learned to live off the land.
Okay. All right.
So answer those 2. Any animosity?
Okay. The thing is, families were different. Okay. My grandmother and my family lived in the house. All of us lived in the house. It was like a 2-bedroom house. Right. So I had my grandmother, my great grandmother, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, 2 uncles, my granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? All of them there. So even my mom lived there for a while.
Yeah, back in the day, that was the
thing. You know what I'm saying? So
family lived together.
Right. So it was like this was my mom too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
my mom
left me. You know, I was ready to go. Yeah. I wanted to be around Tony. Yeah, and my granddad, my grandmother. Yeah. I missed them. You know, it was cool being with mama, but mama was young. Yeah, I remember mama had me when she was 20.
Gotcha.
So by this time she like 25.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? She young. We more like
with no kids around.
But yeah. So she got no kids. I'm ready to go kick it with
hang out.
Yeah, my grandmother was like, and then they loved me.
Yeah. Like you one of their sons.
It wasn't like no, I don't know why you send it little. No, it was like bring it.
See, back in the days, grandparents always bring that baby to me.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's some young grandparents.
Grandma got somewhere to go, baby.
So digging that. Yeah, and Ken, you're right. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that age where it's not that she left me or whatever, but when I did leave, I realized that even though Tony was older than me, I had to be there for him too. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't really have to see, Ken grew up in the country. But it was like, granddaddy, being around my granddaddy felt good to me, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't really say much, but I just used to look at it.
Your father.
Yeah, he was just like a strong man dude.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to be looking at him like, God damn. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I like being around him. So that's what that was.
So now we come into, you were trying to play football when you went out to Crestwood.
Oh man. Now see, it really started before Crestwood. The first time I went to play football, it was like when I used to love football, I used to love watching. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I already called myself with Gail Sales, Jim Brown, all these folks. He was the people, Tony Dorsett. Yeah, right. So at this point, when I was young, I was living in what they call the bottom. And I used to go out and play football. When they had a football game, Sandlot, you know what I'm saying? So, but I had this dude, he used to be a bully, you know what I'm saying? So, for some reason, he didn't like me. I don't know why he didn't like me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, I'm young, I don't know, I had about 7, 8, something like that. So, what really got me into football is that I went out there, I begged mom to let me out and play, because at this time, Tracy was born, and Terry was born.
Yeah. If you were 7,
yeah, they were born. So I used to, like, when I know the guys out there playing, I said, Mom, can I go out and play? And they was real guarded of me, you know what I'm saying? For some other reason, but she let me go out and play one day. So I went out there to play. Now, when I walked out there where they played, the dude was like, when I saw him, I hit the corner, saw him, I turned my head right back around and went back in the house. I'm like, oh, man, I'm not going to play. Yeah. Because I don't want to deal with this dude. Right. But Mama, she's so intuitive. She knew how much I love football. Mm-hmm. So when she came and saw me in the back room playing with because I used to take cardboard and put, like you ever look at comic books and they had these big pictures of like Superman, Batman. I used to glue them because I couldn't get the man. You know what I'm saying? So I used to glue the picture of the Superman or Batman on the cardboard, and I make my own little. I always been somebody to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I did model cars, I did puzzles, I always did stuff like that. So she saw me back there and said, "Why you not there playing football?" I said, "I just don't." She said, "You don't get your ass out there, boy, out there.
Yeah.
If you don't get your ass out there, so I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Damn. Cause either I'm gonna deal with him or deal with her."
Yeah, parents make you face your fears back then.
Right. So I said, okay. So I said, let me put on my shoes. But what I really was doing, because I kept a box cutter, because that's how I cut these figures out.
Yeah.
I put that box cutter in my sock. I said, well, you mess with me, I'm gonna cut him too sharp. Shit, that's how I thought. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I was violent like that, but you know, I fought a lot.
Okay.
But I went out there and I got the plan. He ain't say nothing to me. I got the plan, and then the box cutter kept hitting me in my ankle. I couldn't, you know, every time I moved, I kept feeling the thing. So I took it out of my thing and put it in the grass, hid it. I said, now before I'm gonna get to this box cutter.
Yeah.
So what happened is that he ran the ball and I hit it. I said, this motherfucker weak. He's soft.
Yeah.
Oh, and after that, I was like, man, I ain't studying this dude. You know what I'm saying? That really got me, you know what I'm saying? And then I was pretty good, you know what I'm saying? So I went up to the High Chaparral first.
Okay.
And I played, I was like maybe 9, and I played 110 pounds. You know what I'm saying? All they had was the 110 pound and the unlimited.
Yeah.
The unlimited, like they were grown. So we played that, and I went from the High Chaparral and when they played with Gay City.
Yeah.
And then those teams basically folded. So when they folded, I still love football. And I don't know, I just said how I heard about Crestwood. But I said, I took him and went up to Crestwood. Yeah. When I went up to Crestwood, I was like, I had been about 11. And at that time, I weighed like 127, 108. So I couldn't play with the pound I was supposed to play with.
So, look, before we move forward, I want to paint this picture. When he said he's 11, weighing 120, 130 pounds, he's chiseled. He's not fat. He's like muscle.
Right.
So that was a big dude.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me. They told me that, because when I went up there, the first thing they did was, you know, like a slave. They pulled my shirt up.
Hey, check
like,
out.
Can he lose this weight?
Yeah.
So when they pulled my shirt up, I said, well, nah, he ain't got no weight to
lose. No fat.
Yeah, I ain't had no fat. So they said he gonna have to go up. But they didn't ever see me. They didn't know I could play or not. So Coach Carmichael was his name. White dude, the short, fat white dude. Best coach ever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I went in there, I'm like 11 years old. So the first thing he look at me again, you know what I'm saying? But what can we do with him? But I'm cut. Yeah. I'm ripped. You know what I'm saying? So he said, well, then I got to play. So the only way I can play on the 130. So these guys like 14, 15. I mean, 15 was the top age you could go. Yeah. Right. So I'm sitting up now with 11 years old, and I'm playing with 14, 15. You know what I'm saying? So the first game we played was Adamsville, and he had me at nose tackle. Okay. I love nose tackle because at nose tackle I was playing against centers that wasn't athletic. I was very athletic. So I used to beat them on every trick of the trade. So it made me stand out. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So what happened, let me show you how I started. I ain't not running back there, but I started playing running back at Gay City. Yeah. Okay. And I started playing that because of fumble. They fumbled the ball, I was playing guard because every in the project they had they favorites. Yeah. Put you on line. Yeah, they put me on line. So they messed around and fumbled the ball, and I picked it up and ran a touchdown. The coach like, what the hell? So they started doing the guard around. That used to be a big play for us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at Crestwood, I played nose guard, and I killed him in nose guard. And then one game, I chipped something in my elbow, did something in my elbow. I'm playing, holding my arm down like this. I'm playing so good, don't nobody notice it but Mama. Okay. So Mama go to the coach to get him out. Something wrong with his arm. And the coach said, what do you mean? Because I'm making it all the time, still doing everything I used to do. He holding, that's how in depth she followed. Yeah. So she said, nah, something wrong with it. Pulled me out the game. And then we talked about it, you know what I'm saying? So the coach from the other team came over and asked my coach, said, "Well, who is that nose guard?" He asked him, said, "Oh, that's the baby. That's the baby. That's the baby." Say he number 11 years old, and just so happened that one day we said that I just turned 12, and they were just like, "What?" You know, like these are big dudes. I mean, these are big dudes for me back then. And then one of the guys that played running back ended up getting hurt. And I was second string running back, and when he ended up getting hurt, and he played wing back. You know, wing back don't get no play. Okay. And once I got in that wing back, they made plays for me. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you were the trendsetter for us to come through.
Well, yeah, because when nobody, because then we started walking. I started getting all y'all said, "Hey, we can go up there. We can go up to Crestwood." And you remember we used to walk up there.
Yeah, you opened the door.
Yeah, I remember. It one time, dude was like, "Cause my name had got big in the pride in Gay City about football." Okay. So I remember they came to my apartment one time telling me this guy wanted to go 1-on-1 with me. Okay. Playing football. And I was like, "Okay, bet." You know what I'm saying? So said, "Put on your pads." Everybody put on their pads. I said, "Okay." Yeah. I don't forgot who. Now in my pads, I look way bigger than
what you.
Like I had a horse collar and all that.
Say, well,
yeah, all that. And I used all that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it was so funny. The dude was out there on the front. They sit right across from used to be a meat market over there. Mm-hmm. So when I walked out through the hole in the gate, dude said, "Oh no, I don't want to."
yo. Okay, yeah. Okay. So moving forward, then. So after you left Crestwood, you went to Woodlawn, right?
Right.
So how was it playing?
Well, see what happened. See, this where my football career really fell off. Okay. The last year, like I told you, I turned from 11 to 12. Mm-hmm. So the next year, I couldn't play 135 no more.
Too big?
I was too big. You know what I'm saying? But I could lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on losing weight. I always had to put on the bag or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I made, man, me and Patrick broke some records. I broke some records. Pat broke some records. But
Patrick's on PT.
Yeah, PT's my cousin. Yeah. He was a motherfucker too, but what happened was they folded the whole 135 team. So my 13-year-old year, I couldn't play. Gotcha. Now that's when I got in the street.
So that's when it actually started.
That's when I actually started, you know what I'm saying? Because all the while I was, and back then you gonna either be smart or slick. Gotcha. And I could pick either one I wanted to be. So I chose to be slick. Because I ain't playing football. There was no structure. So now it's like I'm just out there. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So you basically at 13 got a taste of the street.
Yeah, but now, at the same time, man, my name Carlos, we used to be drinking Red Out, Wild Out Road, Red Out, smoking weed. I'm doing all stealing reefer from my mom.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got a taste around at 13.
Yeah.
I remember my question.
Okay. Let's go.
How old were you when you witnessed your first act of violence? You said, you remember seeing domestic violence and you were about 7 or 8. Was that the first time?
Let me see. Yeah, that probably was the first time, other than getting whipping. I ain't really get many whippings, but, other than whipping, but, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was my first time about 7, 8, seeing something like that. Okay. Seeing something that could really harm somebody, really could. And then it was done to the person I loved the most.
Right. And I think back in those days, that was common.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, because they had, you got to remember back in them days, they had a thing on the law book called the rule of thumb. Yeah. And men could beat their women. Yeah. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, this my kid. Yeah. I mean, we just.
Well, I wouldn't give a damn. That's my damn mama.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, when you're a kid, you just don't,
don't touch
something like that. Exactly. Yeah. So getting back to so you said 13. That's basically you started getting a little taste of street life. So you went to high school. You played ball.
I came out there, yeah.
How was it?
I mean, it was cool. By this time, I done did a lot of things from that year. Because you got to remember, I went through school and elementary school, so we hidden. Cause that's when they had Jonathan's, A.G. Gasson team night. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's when I first saw Rappers Delight. Okay. rap was coming out strong then, you know what I'm saying? My first rap I heard was King Tim III, and that just took me to another place because, you know, just by saying King Tim, I was like, okay, I even got King Tim on my chest now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that I started seeing little girls, had a big neighborhood fight in Gay City at the park one time, you know what I'm saying? Girls started liking me a little more, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see little things, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel myself, smell myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling mama I'm gonna stay out later because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a man now, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember at about 10, she done had to talk, say you the man of the house. So once I got a little taste that old thing, I'm like, listen, you know, I got these girls to talk to, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like, and then by the time I got to high school, that's more girls, you know what I'm saying? And then I got some little dudes that I'm with, and we kick it, you know what I'm saying? You had dudes driving cars at, 13.
Yeah.
So we hopping in cars, we at, what it was, Jerry's, that was on 10th Avenue. Yeah, they used to say a gallon dry beer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We going to get, we 13 years old. We going to get half a gallon dry beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kicking in the car. You know what I'm saying?
I think that we came through with the 8th Avenue Plaza and we went and got the half a gallon of dry beer.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so you did your high school.
Right.
So football didn't work.
Well, no, I ain't gonna say it didn't work. We did good. I love football. I just didn't like the politics behind it.
Gotcha.
You know
so what I'm saying, so you chose something different. What did you do after football?
Well, after I saw that, you know what I'm saying, I didn't understand the politics, understand why my talent couldn't just get me where I wanted to go, why I had to kiss ass to be there, why I had to, run up behind these folks. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know what's going on with that. I went to the Marines. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I signed up for the Marines after high school.
Gotcha.
When I signed up for the Marines, I went and took the test. I blew the test out the water. By this time, it's 84, and Beirut had just happened. Now, I'm a fighter. I've been in plenty of fights. I've won a lot of fights. So I'm feeling like good. You know what I'm saying? So Beirut happened. I said, well, I'm going to go to the military. So I signed up for the Marines. I went and took the test. Went down there, took one. I already raised. You got to do your double. You got to raise your hand 3 times or 2 times, something like that. So I went and raised my hand 1 time. Man, my grandmother had a fit.
So we got a question right there. I'm gonna move forward. So Amy's asking. She said, "How do you go from a structured environment, making good grades, being a football star, to prison?" See, we ain't got there yet. We ain't got there yet, Amy. We gonna get there. Look, I'm gonna speed up. So check it out. All right. So you went to service,
right? I ended up going to the Navy.
Navy.
Yeah, because my grandmother talked me out of it. She said, baby.
Out of the Marines.
Now I done signed up.
Yeah.
So just so happened my aunt was dating a guy named, I forget his name, but he was a Navy recruiter.
Okay.
And my grandmother, when she got on that phone, now that's what's great about having my mom was ready to let me just, make my own decision because that's the type, we was more close like that. Mm-hmm. So my grandma was really the person that really said, look, Tim, if you go there, they're going to keep you. Please don't go there. And I loved her so much that I changed and went. Now, believe me, it hurt my heart because, you feel like that's my word. I got to do this, but fuck my word. My grandmother don't want me to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to the Navy. And that's where, and believe it or not, that's where the criminal behavior started.
Okay. So, how did you feel when you had to leave your family and go to service?
I was going for a reason. We were broke. We were poor. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I had 3 sisters, a mama. Mama's struggling.
Gotcha.
She got to do something. I got to do some football. I could have went to school and played football, but then I would put more burden on her.
Yeah.
She got 3 girls. The girls need clothes. Girls need more things than a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now me and her always been like this. So we had to talk. She's like, well, baby, you can go to school. Boom, boom. And I'm like, Mama, what you gonna do? Mm-hmm. You can't take care of me and them.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It was rough. So I said, shit, I'm gonna go. And I went to the military, and this thing called allotment. Anybody been in the military, you can make an allotment out to where you get money out your check, and they go wherever you're gonna go, and you never see it. Gotcha. So I kept allotment coming to the house. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't have to see the money going, I just dealt with what I dealt with because the whole purpose of me going to the military is to make sure I help her and my sister.
So how long did you do in the service? How long did you do?
And I did 3 years active, and then I did 3 years inactive.
So why you in career?
Who?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Man. Listen. First of all, when I went down there, I went to Orlando, and Orlando is the place where they got the winter. So that just listen. The third day there, they call it, you got P days, like pre-days. You know what I'm saying? You get your haircut, you take shots. You know what I'm saying? By my third day there, this little girl sent me a note. She liked me and all this stuff here. She about to graduate.
Yeah.
And so she about to leave, so she wanna hook up. Now we ain't supposed to be after a certain time. You ain't supposed to leave out the barracks, please, until now I snuck out the barracks, me and this Hispanic guy. Because they don't want him, the other they don't want me.
Yeah.
So I hear you calling.
Here go.
Here come baby. I had to go do it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm finna handle my business. But it just wasn't for me. They tried to get me to ask me to join the SEALs. I was like, nah, I ain't none of that. Cause when I got there, I was like, no, this ain't for me. I just knew it wasn't for me. But what happened is that at that point in time, people were going to the military to stay out of prison. So there's a lot of guys older than me. Cause remember, I'm 17. I graduated in June of 84. By January of 85, I just turned 18 in August. I'm in the military. So I didn't waste no time. I went cause we were going through some things. Okay, so I went on in. So these guys were, these grown men were in there. And matter of fact, one of my first friends was this white guy. I can't remember his name, but it was had a big old pot belly. And during the PT, as we do PT, I used to beat everybody. I'm fresh out of football and everything. So, cause nobody beat me in PT. So the drill sergeant, or whatever they call me, and he said, "Look, you can't be number one no more." I was like, "What?" I thought this is what they wanted. Yeah. He told me, "No, you gotta wait till everybody else come in." So this one guy, big old fat guy, he used to always be the last one. So I had to push him to get it, and I had to come behind him. So they gave me some rank. Okay. When we graduated, we went to Tennessee to A school. Me and him, I don't know what happened, but we ended up flying first class. When I get to A school, I'm naive as hell now. What? He a good dude, but when we get to Tennessee, he tell me I'm gonna hang out with him. We've been kicking it. He a friend of mine. He said, look, Tim, let me tell you. It's not like that up here. I know when boot camp we were cool, but look, you can't hang around me up here. Places I go, you can't go. Yeah. And that's when I first really understood racism. Now, ain't the first time I saw it, but you understood. Now, the first time I saw it is in '76. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we were going to a picnic. My mom worked at a bank. And as we were going to the picnic, we pulled up to I don't know what it was, the beach or whatever. But when we pulled up, this white man jumped out the booth. I mean, he jumped out there like he had seen it go. Hold up, waving a hand. Hey, Mimi, Mama, Tracy and Dad, and Terry, Tiny, Tracy. And I'm sitting there looking like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? He said, y'all, just wait a minute. So Mama people came and said, well, we were just waiting for you to come because there wasn't no blacks alive. And I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, first time.
I was like, Mom. And she was like, but it was first time seeing racism and my first time seeing people go against racism at the same time. Because them people packed their shit up. Okay, yeah. And we went somewhere, went up to Red Mountain somewhere. And they tried to bet, they can come in now. And people like, no. We were just waiting for them to come so we can go. Because Mama had told them, you can take this and we'll go and leave. But they said, no, we're not going for this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I saw it both at the same time.
So what made you turn to the streets?
Poverty. Refusing to be held down because I'm like, why should I not have? Mm-hmm. Why should my people suffer? Okay. You know what I'm saying? And if it takes for me to do what I got to do to get us out of this, then what better sacrifice than sacrifice your life for the ones you love? That's how I felt. Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, because the military put it in me. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you know, a lot of times people think going to the military, oh, you get a job, but it's a lot of psychological things you go through. I mean, we used to sleep with guns. The guns were your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? People, they just don't know what you went through. You know what I'm saying? Then you meet dudes there that really gangsters. Some of these dudes gonna be on here talking, and they'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, I went to California.
Yeah.
85, 86, 87. The height of the crack epidemic back then. So crack was just hidden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember when my first car was a BMW out there in California.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm from niggas from California, New York, DC, Michigan, LA, Milwaukee. I'm with some dudes out there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this Indiana,
Yeah.
Atlanta. I mean, I'm with some dudes, man. Texas, I'm with some dudes. And these dudes basically like, you know what I'm saying, they getting out of the way because they trying to get out of other shit.
Yeah.
And I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I'm 17, 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So they, you know, one of my partners, old Frankie, they was out there, they once they found out because it was dope being sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was the kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was the young, you know what I'm saying? And we was, you know, I mean, I learned a lot. I seen a lot.
So that was late 80s, late 80s.
Yeah, and I got jumped out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, niggas whooped my ass out there, about 20 niggas. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit happened out there that people don't know, that I don't really talk about.
So now you've been in the street life for roughly, let's say, what, roughly?
I'm in the street like overseas. I'm talking. I'm in Korea. I'm in Hong Kong. We having, man, this thing way deeper than just Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm talking. We in, man. Listen.
So when you get back here, when you come back from the service and all that, you get into your thing. You take care of your family.
I get back here. You know, I'm still not, because I don't think I'm a criminal. I never thought I was a criminal. I'm just doing what I got to do.
Taking my family.
Yeah. I mean, by any means
necessary. By any means necessary. Yeah, you got it.
So
got it.
I come back here and I went, man, this is so funny. I said, okay, because you military now, none of my skills that was in the military really panned out.
Okay.
So I remember they were saying they were hiring for the police force. I ain't want to do it, but take care of my family, I would have did.
Gotcha.
And I'm debating. I said they finna. Okay, I gotta go out there. You know what I'm saying? So I went up there to go sign up for the application and all that. I ain't had my driver's license. I said that's a sign.
So that was a sign that made you stop from being police.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. I didn't want to do it nowhere, but like I said, by any means necessary.
Yeah.
But I took that as a sign that I ain't had my ID one there, whatever for reason. And really, I put it on myself, whatever. And I started kicking some of my niggas that got out here and started getting in the street.
All right. So look. So after doing all that, so we come to 1995.
God damn, you know how much shit happened for me? But yeah, 1995.
We come up to 1995.
But see, by then I was so heavy into what I was into.
I know.
I mean, you gotta remember, I'm going in and out, here and there, to and fro. I was moving. I'm doing a lot of stuff.
So when did you first go to prison? What year?
92.
And how long did you do?
18 months.
18 months.
Right.
Okay. So in 92.
92. And then, but when I went in, it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I see what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I seen some dudes I knew because I've been in the streets since I got out in 88. 88, I came home. By 92, I'd been in the street for however many years that is. So a lot of the dudes that I saw in prison were dudes that I saw in the street. And were doing things in the street. Now, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like it was like, hey, what's happening? Come on. So I made some friends, and then I had other people, other places. And by then, like, I met my birth father, my biological father.
Okay.
But yeah, I met him. He was a street dude.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And once I found out who he was, I just felt like this is my DNA anyway.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that
so We pushing forward now.
Yeah, it's all the pop. You know what I'm saying? Because he was
That dude. Okay. All right, so 95, we come up to the Chase, the big thing Chase.
I never heard of that till y'all told me.
Look, that's what. So we were looking. I can remember my wolves and everything. I saw it in Gay City, with my auntie, and they had breaking news, the Chase, and it's showing it. So what was going through your mind when this, like, because you got to think. So we see you as, big brother. My wife, them big brother. There's always.
Yeah, because nobody knew exactly what I was doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what was going through your mind when all this shit was going down? You know what I'm saying? What was going through your mind?
Damn.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't damn like, damn, I got this nigga with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, got it.
My thing was, man, when all that jumped off, it was like, okay, it ain't no time to even, trip.
Yeah.
It's time to do what we got to do. So when it got to do what we got to do, and it started popping off, one of the dudes started, acting up. He started, his true color came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you this.
Now we ain't gotta rush. They don't get it all with it. Then we get in the book. Don't rush nothing.
Yeah.
We ain't fuck the time.
Gotcha.
We just broke. And then now we can stop when the thing over, but it's more to be told. Now we just hitting on something.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we'll stop it right here. If you really want to talk about it and hear about it, we'll go from there. Huh? All right. Yeah. Okay.
So let me ask you this. When did it click? Like, damn, fuck that.
I didn't. It never clicked.
That
never clicked.
Okay.
No, I never thought I was fucked up.
Okay.
Because see, I never thought I was fucked up.
Gotcha.
I knew I had to do something. See, like I told you, I used to work jigsaw puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
I used to fix model cars. I had an imagination that could do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when this went down, I had to come up with a way. How am I gonna stop when I got my mom and my 3 sisters?
Yeah.
How can I be fucked up?
Yeah.
No, this is something I got to go through. It's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna pass or fail? I've always been a good student.
Exactly.
I wasn't studying that.
Got it.
It was something I was called to go through. And I recognized that. I never sit up and said, oh man, I'm fucked. No, because that ain't time to do that. It's time to fight. What I look like sitting around in the place talking about moping and when all these killers around me. Is you crazy? No, I never thought like that. Never.
All right, so when you did that in 95, you kind of went on the run a little bit.
I went, yeah. You gotta remember they gave me a $500,000 bump. What they thought was gonna.
Yeah.
Did I get out?
Yeah.
Okay, so when did I thought I was fucked up? They got me on TV. I didn't know I was on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, because they had us in the hole.
Gotcha.
They didn't I ain't see none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had no idea about the Chase and none of that. But when they came up and gave me that damn bond, really $460,000 bond,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked it.
Yeah.
So when I worked that, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go, because I knew they ain't had, but I go to the books.
Yeah.
I go to the books. They books.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw where I had them. Oh, I can beat this. I don't need no lawyer to beat this. I can beat this. I found the loophole.
Yeah.
And then when I went to trial, and these folks talking about doing all, and they start playing these games, shell game, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, this ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
No, they lying.
Okay.
They playing a game.
So you talking about court. So when the judge said you was a menace,
You were there.
I was there.
Tell them what he said. I ain't say it.
The judge said you was a menace to society, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they gave you life plus 99, what went through your head?
Y'all don't know who I am.
You ain't never afraid.
Never.
Never.
If I did, would I be here?
But I'm telling you, I was shit. I'm telling you,
nah.
you know me, I would fell out. Conscious, right?
What I do? What it look like I did? Did I?
You out there.
What did I say to him?
You were like, what? Man, I beat this. I ain't studying this. I mean, you didn't. I mean, you didn't waver. I was there.
Witness. So what I'm telling you is not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, my nigga, I knew God was on my side because everything I did was from a pure heart.
Mm-hmm.
It was not me trying to be anything but a protector, provider, and lover of my family.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want me to be that.
So, all right, so you went to prison. So they gave you life plus 99, you went to prison.
Right. No.
No.
Let me show you.
You're right.
Let me show you. Before they gave me that, I made money.
Yeah, I remember.
Went to trial, and I told them, give me 30 days. Give me 30 days.
Gotcha.
When they gave me 30 days, I called to Mexico.
Gotcha.
And talked to some folks. And talked to some more folks. And talked to some more folks. And by the time they thought I was going to be in there, I was in somewhere else.
Gotcha.
I was gone. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was still coming back and forth. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying? I got caught again. I wasn't gonna never come back to Alabama, man. Only reason I came back to bring some money to my mama and them, to my grandmother, to the people that I really owed for helping me. I would have never came back if I didn't owe them that money. I had to do that.
Gotcha. So you was in there, when did it sink in? Like, I'm in here for a while. Like,
It never sunk in. That's what you don't understand. It never sunk in. I'm in here for a while. What it sunk in is I got to figure a way to get out. That's the only thing sunk in to me. I never sunk in talking about, man, they got me. No. I had moments, of course.
Yeah.
Okay?
So, yeah.
But the fight, the determination, the belief, the faith that God was with me never changed, never faltered.
So your family gave you hope. Like, you all, like, while you was in there, like, all you thinking about getting back out since your focus still on your family. I say that.
At that point, my focus was on my son, because basically my sisters had their own men, was having their own business. They were basically grown. My basic thing was they had good people in there. They got good men now, okay, and they had men that were dealing with whatever. My thing was now my son.
At what age you went in? What age was your son when you went?
He was 6.
For the people that don't know, how many years did you do?
18.
So when he got to get 24, he was grown.
Right, grown. But I kept in touch.
Yeah.
And man, listen. I mean, I did some things in prison that was uncalled for. I mean, unheard of. So you know, I ain't, man, never faltered.
So when you found out you had a chance to get out.
I had a chance from the beginning.
I know what I'm saying. When it finally hit you, like, hey, you know, like you coming up for parole.
I came up for parole 3 times, so it wasn't like it was nothing new.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I knew they give you a setup.
Gotcha.
Okay, so my thing was, how do I set myself up to get this damn parole? Okay. Now you got to remember, I had life and 99 running wild. If anybody don't know that, that means I can do a life sentence, die, be resurrected, and I still got 99 years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the first thing that let me know God was with me is the 99 years got wiped out.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. It's because they were low down.
So now you take it to life.
Didn't that go?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you that God has worked through everything. You just have to see past what they put in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
See, people put things in front of you to say that you're not gonna do something, but you can't look at it in a 2D, 3D. You gotta go 5, 6, 7D to look down and see what the whole thing. See, I ain't never seen one thing. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
I ain't just see they gave me this. They can't give me a shit.
Yeah.
How can you give me something that you ain't never? You didn't make me. How you gonna break me? Man, please. Man, no.
So to come out, man, you came out with good sound mind and a good state of mind, right?
That should tell you it never faltered.
Yeah.
It never faltered.
Yeah.
And I went through the valley of the shadow of death.
Yeah.
But God is with me.
Yeah.
Man, you got to understand this shit deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's deeper than what they say. Because you know you got positive and negative everywhere. Just because it look, because they create an illusion that, oh, he bad, he this, he that. But God weighs your heart. He don't weigh what they think. He don't think like they think.
Yeah. So
everything they thought I was, God said I wasn't. Who I'm gonna believe?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man, come on.
Look, if y'all want to know more about T.O.G, man, check. Hey, get ready for the book when it come out, right?
Have
You
faith.
know what I'm saying?
My faith is the key.
Get ready for the book.
Understand that God doesn't let you go through anything that you can't handle. And if He closes the door on you, open the goddamn one.
Yes, sir.
Don't. I'm telling you, I'm living proof. We ain't talk about me getting stabbed and none of that.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
That's gonna be in the book.
Man, this.
That's gonna be in the book. We ain't gonna tell them everything.
Man, this.
That was to give you bits and pieces of it, right? Look, we enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed interviewing you, brother. You already know. You know how I feel.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So look, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for following. Hey, and look, y'all go check out The Truth with Amy at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I was on that this morning, Amy.
Yeah, go check out, man. Our partner be putting out.
All right, Frank.
You know, so look, tune in every morning, Monday through Friday with The Truth with Amy at 6
And the fourth Wednesday every month. Look, we got something coming this Wednesday. We're gonna tell you more about it now. The end of December, we got something coming.
Yeah.
We need y'all to go. Mate, you're gonna eat. We got some. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Think about it.
So look, y'all, thank y'all for following us, man. If y'all not following,
Follow.
go to T.O.G and Barillas podcast on YouTube. We have a Facebook page, T.O.G and Barillas.
And I'm gonna show you how you can talk to God and He'll talk back to you. I'm telling you what's happening.
All right, man. We love y'all, man. Thank y'all for following. Peace out.
You know what I'm saying? Feel it.
Yeah, the hunt is on. Every step I take is with my gauge. I'm selling dope. I can't live on fucking minimum wage. A young black man, now you know what that means, G. A hard life, and ain't nobody hiring me. Too black, too strong for this fucking little system, man. No Uncle Tom, so I'm fucking up that little plan. So fucking scared that I might just up and retaliate. You ask me why, should my heart be filled with hate? Motherfucker past, talking about shit that's happening here today. I'm on my knees. Oh Lord, help me control this rage. I'm being teased like a beast locked within a cage. They're setting traps and almost kill me twice, you see. They won't feel safe till they got me hanging from a tree. I'm still running, but I got the Lord on my side. Pour drink on the corner for my homies that have fought and died.